Hello guys, welcome to another Jurassic World Evolution 3 video. This is my baby Spinosaurus. Guys, just so you notice, I have a mod installed for these dinosaurs so they look more paleo-accurate, as you can see here. This is not the base game Spinosaurus. So, welcome to Prehistoric Oasis, a park I've been building for a while and been trying to kind of make, a good park. We've got the Spinosaurus waterfall area. We have a herbivore grasslandy area. You can see you've got this. Let's see, there's a little baby iguanodon coming in. I have set so juveniles don't mature, so you've got a kind of a more natural population, So, yeah. Then I've also, across here, got some Utah raptors, including some juveniles. Here they are. And today, we're going to work on expanding this and creating a herbivore kind of gyrosphere tour, I think, is what we're going to do today. So we are going to have to put the hatchery on this side, and we are going to add a monorail station, because I've been building a monorail around this. So we're going to do that. Alright, so this is going to be the first video I do on this park. There might be more in the future though. So yeah, if you guys want to see more, consider supporting the channel. And then what we're going to want to do is just get this to curve attached around here. There we go, now I've got that attached. Got this hatchery, and what we're going to build in here is this big, nice, big tall, with lots of different herbivores. So, what we're going to do is we're going to select the herbivores we want. We probably aren't going to include any carnivores in this. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Alright, so we're probably going to have Ankylosaurus, maybe. Barosaurus is another modded creature I have, so I might include that. Diplodocus, maybe. Trinchingosaurus, Gryphosaurus. Let's get some Barosaurus in first. I really like these guys. I think a really cool mod. This mod is by Master Doot, same guy who made the Dilophosaurus mod. This is a really good, so shout out to him. He makes some really good mods. Let's go with this coloration, get some nice vibrancy on there. And then let's just get some upgrades. So growth and additional bays. Obviously good for sandbox parks. We're gonna get incubate a second Barosaurus. Then we're also gonna go ahead and probably grab some, let's see. Let's grab, maybe not a Therizinosaurus. Let's grab an Ankylosaurus. I think Ankylos would look good here. Maybe this Pachycephalosaurus? Yeah, we'll go with that. If you guys want to see any other dinosaurs in this park, comment what you'd like to see, because I always appreciate comment suggestions. Let's incubate a second batch of Ankylosaurus. We have 4 of them. And we're also going to go ahead and get some Pachycephalosaurus, which are here. We have these as our smallish herbivores. I know they're not too small. Let's go to blank pattern there, and let's get something kind of more snazzy for the male. And once again, I think we're going to go to blank pattern. I think it looks nice on Pachycephalosaurus. So let's let me go incubate. We'll select this one as a female Barosaurus. This one as a male Barosaurus. This male and female. Male and female. And then let's just get 3 males and 3 females for the control population. So now we need, let's put in, first of all, let's make this all of this some nice pasture area. So let's get that all in. Let's use this one, East Asian brushland. I think that's a bit nicer. So let's get all of these. Let's fill the entire paddock with this, first of all. Then we'll get the other stuff in. That's how I like to make my paddocks. Fill the whole thing with a nice flat pasture area. And then kind of work from there. That's how I do it. You guys might do it differently, but that's how I do it. Right, I'm assuming we need some cover. Yeah, cover. You don't like cover. Yeah, we'll get some cover in there. Obviously, we are in the Nusa Tenggara Islands of Indonesia, so that's where the site is. Right, we are going to go ahead and grab some East Asian woodland. Kind of cover a bit there, a little bit there, maybe a bit here, a little there, a little kind of here, and then a little bit over here. There we go. So then we are also going to grab some wetland. Do you like wetland? Yeah, you want a bit of wetland. Yeah, these guys all like wetland, so let's get a bit of wetland in there. So maybe get some of this cypress swamp. Let's replace some of this with kind of a more swampy trees. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Then what food sources do we need? Let's see. We need tall fibre and tall fruit, which I think comes from cycad. Oh my god, I still can't pronounce these. Yeah, tall fibre and tall fruit. Let's get some cycad. I don't know. Somebody, please comment and tell me, how do you pronounce these things? Like, is it cycads or cycads or cycads or I don't know. Please help me. Then we need ground fruit and ground leaf. Okay, ground fruit comes from cycads. Then we're going to need some tempskers as well to get that nice leafy bit. Oh no, but these are tempskers. Calamites are different. Alright, so now we need for the ground leaf as well. So that should be fine, and we need to add some water, obviously. So let's kind of have a watering hole. Let's make it here, the watering hole. There we go. Now let's get these species in. Let's get our first Barosaurus. I'm going to give you guys a little Pachycephalosaurus. Once we get the Barosaurus, then I'll give you guys a little showcase of that. But whilst we're here, let me put in a gate. Let's do that. Now let's wait. Now here is our Barosaurus. This is, once again, I said, a modern dinosaur. It might get added to the base game at some point, but for now I've got this mod and I think it's super cool. Look at that. Barosaurus. There it is. I think it's going to love this paddock. Alright. There we go, there's our Barosaurus. Now let's get the rest of these released. You can see the male Barosaurus coming out there. Let's schedule these two. Now let's get some more dinosaurs in here. Let's go with... Let's do Muttaburrasaurus. I think those are a good addition to any park. So let's grab this. A bit of this. Oh, a bit of this, like that's nice. Then we'll go with a bit of this. Here we go, let's get these guys incubated. Yeah, 4 will probably be okay, population for Muttaburrasaurus. And then let's also grab... I want a Ceratopsian. Usually Ceratops a lot. Let's go to classic trike. Go with a classic. Let's go a bit of this. Maybe just blank. Maybe this. Oh, that's a nice screen. I think we'll go with that colour. Looks nice. There we go. Once again, I think 4 is an okay population. And I also want another smaller species. Wait a minute. Yeah, ground fibre. We've got ground fibre, right? No, wait. Do we? Yeah, we do have ground fibre. Then what the trike seed? They need ground fibre as well. Okay, so they're fine. Now let's also go ahead and let's grab some Hypsilophodon. Grab these. I mentioned this in a few videos, but these guys were in the original Jurassic Park novel. They weren't in the film. They weren't in the Jurassic Park film, but in the novel, Michael Crichton described these guys as bouncing like kangaroos. I have one question for Michael. How the hell does this thing bounce? It's got legs the size of chicken nuggets. How does it bounce? Anyway, let's go with that. I think I probably want 8 for the Hypsilophodon population. And Hypsilophodon, yeah, they like ground leaf. We've got ground leaf, yeah. Let's see how the others are getting into their paddock. Obviously, since the Barosaurus is a modern dinosaur, you can't see it. So let's see how Pachycephalosauruses are doing. They're doing okay, yep. And then let's get these others in, and then we'll set up a tour. I think that's an okay roster of species. Let's get these all released and let's start setting up the gyrosphere tour. So let's grab ourselves a gyrosphere tour. Can we plop it here? Let's just get rid of the gate for now. Then if we just grab our gyrosphere tour now, it should be able to fit it there. Okay, we need to make it slightly to the side so that it doesn't, so we can actually use it and make it into a full tour. So let's get it in the right place. Yeah, that'll do. First of all, let's connect the path. There we go. Now let's get the tour route. There we go, okay. So now let's kind of wrap it through here. The one thing that's annoying about our gyrosphere tours is that they kind of like turn everything in the paddock that they go through into just grass. Which is annoying when you're kind of trying to build big things with lots of dinosaurs, because most dinosaurs don't want a paddock that is exclusively grass. Like, see, that's getting rid of most of the forest. It should be worth it though, once we get it finished. Oh yeah, we can just sneak it past the water. There we go. Our gyrosphere tour is complete. I think all our dinosaurs are out. Yep. See, here's our male Barosaurus. None of these guys have already expanded too far out yet, so we'll wait for that. And we'll build over here the second thing I wanted to do today, which is a lagoon attraction. So let's see if we make a nice lagoon. Now, usually with lagoons, it's only one species, but I want to try and put multiple species in this lagoon. I think that'd be pretty cool. So there we go. So now what we're going to have, we've got this lagoon now, and we're going to use a trick to make it a shallow lagoon. So if we make sure that, and we make sure that collision is on, then if we can raise this rock to whatever height we want, then fill the lagoon with this rock, then we can make the lagoon shallower, which I think is super sick. We need to make sure that collision is on with the rocks. Let's just double check that it's on. Sometimes this doesn't work, but it is cool when it does. And either way, you will still have a shallow lagoon. But also it's I have figured out I can't really be bothered because to get the full effect, you need to turn collision on for every single rock, which is really annoying. Otherwise, I do just swim under the rocks, but I don't really care. If you do want to build like a fully shallow lagoon where the creatures can't swim through the rocks, you are gonna have to manually turn collision on for every single rock. But just for this video and for this park, I'm not really that bothered. And yeah, you can do this in whatever kind of wacky shape you want. But you need to make sure that there's no gaps in it at all, so that the creatures can't just swim through it. Well, they will still be able to swim through it if you like me, you haven't been bothered to turn collision on for every single rock. There we go. Now I've got a nice shallow lagoon. As you can see, if you come under here, the lagoon is shallow. Quite shallow, actually. So then what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves our lagoon hatchery. We're going to go here. And where's our lagoon viewing gallery? Here it is. We want to use this. So now we're going to kind of like this, turn it around here, and we are going to just do this quickly, and we're going to decide what species we want in this lagoon. So let's have Ichthyosaurus and Plesiosaurus. Let's have both of these. Oh no, instead of Plesiosaurus, we're going to have Attenboroughsaurus. Side note, happy birthday, David Attenborough. Big inspiration for me. This park is in honour of you. So we're going to get this, get a bit of this. Let's go with this colour, with just that bit of a black kind of coloration there. So these guys incubated. Then let's do the Ichthyosaurus. These guys are going to have, I'm going to do like a nice greenish colour for these ones. Then probably a more blackish grey, and then with the purple stripes. Well, that looks nice. These guys both come in batches of 5, so that's good. Well, let's make it like, you guys know in Jurassic World when they've kind of got like this kind of, you know, where it's got like 3 in a row, and you can sit in any of them. Like how it's kind of curved around the edge in Jurassic World. With the Mosul Lagoon. We're going to do that. So there's 3 different viewing galleries. So now we're going to grab these. We're going to have 2 males and 3 females. And for these ones, we're going to have the same 2 males, 3 females. And we're also going to put in, obviously, we need a fish feeder. Let's put 2 fish feeders in. We're also going to add some kind of marine plants. Oh wait, let's just check. If I do this, does it go under the rocks? Yes, it does. Okay, that's interesting. So what I'm going to do... Oh no, the rocks are here, so it doesn't quite go under the rocks. Oh, that's really good, so it doesn't quite go under the level of the rocks. That's really cool. So I've done it at the right level so that it's just at the bottom of the lagoon. That's pretty cool. But first, before I put these guys in, what I'm also going to add is some kind of like kelp. So it's kind of lower the height of this than it is. So it's just a little bit poking out the water. Let's place this everywhere. So it's kind of look like a little inland shallow area. There we go. So let's kind of get these dotted around in a few nice places. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. Those like nice marine plants. I know it looks a bit repetitive. Well, let's demolish some of them. Looks a bit repetitive. Oh no, not the rocks. Which rock did I demolish? Okay, it looks like the rock I demolished didn't really matter. Okay, so now if we go, so now yeah, we have added some of these, like nice marine plants everywhere. I think we'll add one more. Just here. Let's lower it down a bit. There we go. And that looks nice. Kind of like this inland kelp garden type thing. Then now, if we lower the stands, it should show us the kelp garden. What it looks like from underneath. Obviously the kelp pokes slightly out the water, that's fine. And there we go, we can see it from underneath and we can see all the kelp. I think that looks really nice. So now let's get our creatures in. Here is our Attenborosaurus. Once again, these guys will swim under the rocks at some point if you haven't turned collision on for all of them. But I'm not too bothered about that. And they are at the moment above the rock, which is good. This one's diving under. But now we can see some of Attenborosaurus. And then we're going to get in our Ichthyosaurus. Here they are. One thing I'm also going to add is some nice rocks. Kind of have some rocks sticking up out the water. I've had something nice kind of here. Maybe a little bit sticking up here. A little bit here. Maybe something here. Maybe a little bit here. And then maybe 2 of them kind of here. There we go. We've made that look even nicer now. Kind of got these nice rocks sticking up out the water. Let's add one more. Also, I just had one more rock. Kind of just here. So 2 more. There we go. So now, we have our lagoon. Let's have a look at him from the stands. Let's lower it and see them. See if we can spot any of our creatures. Well, let's have a little wait here. Looks like, yeah, some of them are going down under the rocks. I look like this guy. Look, he does just phase through the rock. Look, there's an Attenborough coming, popping back up out of it. Now let's see how our herbivores are doing. Got one of our Triceratops here. Having a little drink. Our Ankylosaurus is doing okay. Our Barosaurus also doing okay. We'll ignore all the red bits. Our Muttaburrasaurus doing okay. And let's see, where are our Pachycephalosaurus? Let's have a look at those. Well, guys, yeah, these guys are fine. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Just adding some new stuff to this park. I don't know about you guys, but I've really enjoyed building this. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should put next into this park, comment it down below. I love to see your guys' suggestions. So, if you guys have learned any tips and tricks from this video, once again, make sure to use them in your parks. Any cool things you do build, post it in my community. I love to see what you guys do. So, without further ado, goodbye.